Well, hey everybody. We're just here to do a regular old farm tour video. Just showing you here these chickens that I'm raising that are eating some feed over here. And I usually like to ferment their feed, but today it's not fermented. I didn't ferment. And I just mixed in some high quality tuna. This is a breed called an aseel, A-S-E-E-L. There's a couple types here of aseel. There's many different types of aseel chickens, but this is two varieties in particular. I forget the names of them. But they're a big bird and they don't grow fast. And I heard you got to supplement their diet with fruit and protein. So, you know, fish helps, fruits. Just, they don't want to just eat that normal grain. You know, it's like bread that you're feeding a typical chicken. They need a little more than that. They're more of a beast-like animal. They don't lay a ton of eggs. They lay one or two a week from what I've heard. And they take a while to mature. So these have fallen out of, popularity because they're just not as quick growing and as productive when it comes to egg laying as these newer varieties. But this is an ancient breed that's been around for a long time. And they are very hardy. They don't get diseases or worms or anything. But they like to fight. People use them for fighting. I don't want them to fight. I want them to all get along and be friends. And so far, I've been very blessed that they get along quite well so far. They had been going through some fighting, but I think it was just really, they were young and they had to go through it, I guess. And they didn't have enough space maybe or resources, but I started feeding them better and giving them more time out of the cage. I mean, I always let them out of the cage, but I don't know. They got over it somehow for now. I hope it doesn't start again. I'm sure there'll be some that just hate each other. That's usually just the way it is. They get mature and there's just some that just hate each other. And it's usually based on breed with the chickens. But I'm just doing a quick walkthrough to show you some fruit trees. This here is a beautiful Myrciaria strigipes. It's a relative of the yellow jabuticaba, but this one's harder to find. It's a little more cold tolerant in my opinion. And they say it grows near the beaches, I guess. I don't know it. I've never been to its natural habitat. Somewhere in Brazil. Beautiful tree. Pretty easy to grow. You know, heat tolerant, flood tolerant, slightly. Definitely tolerant of wet feet because my whole lot is wet. And people just love that gorgeous new growth on it. Look at that. Myrciaria strigipes. And I believe I'm the first person to demonstrate to the scientific community that this could be grafted onto a close relative, Myrciaria glazioviana, the cabaluda, the yellow jabuticaba, which is more popular and available. So I was taking a plant that was commonly available and propagating one that wasn't, which in this case is Myrciaria strigipes, and making them available to the public by means of, asexual reproduction before the tree was old enough to produce seeds. Do you see the advantage in that and what I had done there and how I was able to profit and put myself in a power position? And now that you're sitting here listening to me talk about this like I know something, because I don't. You guys know it all, really, and that's where I did get all my information, was from other good people and not just from myself. But there are certain things that I guess I did just have to figure out on my own and that no one else had really discovered, I guess. And grafting Myrciaria guaquiea onto Myrciaria glazioviana was another thing that I think I may have helped figure out, where people just, I guess, didn't have the need to do it in Brazil, because if you heard about it, you had already probably had a tree with seeds that you could plant, and they never grafted it over there that I heard of. But I don't know. I think I was probably the first dude to really graft this tree onto anything. And why would you want to graft it anyway, people would say, or what would you graft it onto? They wouldn't know any better. So I feel like I helped some people out in figuring it out, that you can graft guaquiea onto glazioviana, as you could do the same thing with strigipes. But I had tried to graft this other one called Myrciaria glomerata. It makes a red fruit. Well, I figured I could graft that onto glazioviana as well. Well, it didn't work. So there's certain little things where you just got to try them to see if they work or not. But let's go ahead and take a look at those other fruit trees while we're talking about it. I'll take you over here. Oh, heck, you don't know the name of that one, do you? I'm gonna sit here and let you geniuses figure that out for me, because I lost my tags on that one. I need someone who's really smart to just help me figure out what the heck this is. Well, I know he's out there. I know he's out there. She is out there, rather. Over here in this cut right here, we got us a yellow jabuticaba. This is the rootstock I like to use for those other rare ones, okay? This one is flowered, but I don't believe it's set fruit. Let's see. They fruit on the tips of the branches, not so much on the older wood, but like on second year's growth, it seems like about 2 years old at least, 2 or 3 years old. There's a red jabuticaba planted right next to it, so you got them side by side. Probably gonna have to clear out some of these bromeliads around them because they're thorny, and I hate thorns. I'm trying to show you the bottom here, if I can do that without getting stabbed. They were both planted at around the same time, and they're around the same age, but it appears that the yellow jabuticaba is outgrowing the red, and it did flower first, but it could have gone either way. But I think typically the yellow is going to outgrow the red faster and fruit quicker, but not as much. The red will fruit more. Well, let's go ahead and see this other tree here. Sorry, I got to wiggle around through the maze and get some bugs on my body. This one is grafted. This is a strigipes. Yeah, I did get some bugs on my body. And this is the one that I thought I could graft onto Glazioviana, the yellow jabuticaba, and it turns out I don't think you can. This makes a red fruit. It looks superficially like the other trees. Yes, it does, but it's not the same in my opinion, and it will not graft onto Glazioviana. It's a lot to remember, isn't it? All these stupid names. I think this one, I got 2 of these side by side, and I think that it is flowering. One of them was. I don't know if I got any fruit set yet. They've been flowering for a minute, but I haven't got any fruit to set yet. Let's see if this one's got any. Look at the leaves on that. These were really hard to get started. They're real sensitive to pH and water quality. And once they get over the hump, though, they'll start growing. Now they're growing real nice. This one's a good 6 feet tall. I'll show you down to the bottom. Got a really pretty trunk on it. I think I just probably need to put them in 25s. I may try planting them out, but I'm afraid I'll go and plant it and it'll just hate me for it. Some of these trees just hate being planted out here. And, you know, they would have done better in the pot, and you never know until you try it out sometimes. And I personally don't want to try it out with that. But I was just showing you that tree to demonstrate that, in my experience, it cannot be grafted onto Myrciaria glazioviana, which is a rootstock I've been using for strigipes and for guacuella. So let's show you. This one's grafted. This is the first one I ever did graft. And there's the union. That's the rootstock. That's the scion. And it seems to be working out quite well. Looks really good to me. But I don't think anyone had done that before me or shown it to science. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just trying to help you people out. Because, you know, I'm looking for someone who's just a little more with it than me, that can figure this stuff out before me, so I can more rely on you, and you don't have to just, you know, I'm trying to rely on you, you know. Wouldn't it be nice? I just need some more inspiration here. I forget the name of this plant too. I really do. I forget the name of that one. But I know it's a jabuticaba of some sort. Plinia, rather. Forget the name on that one. And I forget the name on this one, but I know that there's a young buck out there that does know it. But did you know these are the same species right there? Look at that. This is the same species and same variety. So I planted these all from the same batch of seeds. Look at the leaf variation and the growth difference. Same batch. All the same batch. Look at the leaf. This one's real tall. This one's in the way. Let's move this out of the way so you can get a better view. That's the same tree variety. This one here. Look at the leaf on it. See that? That's the same tree as that tree. Same variety. Same batch of seeds. Huh. And it's the same as that one. Same variety. Same batch of seeds. Huh. Isn't that weird? See the variation they have even within the same variety. So people's gonna say, oh, I have this variety. And sometimes you'll be able to plant it from seed and get the same thing. Sometimes I think you're gonna need to graft it to get the perfectly exact replica you're gonna need to graft it sometimes. Or else there's gonna be seedling variation that sets it apart. Think about that. So you're buying seeds from some guy. Are you really getting exactly what you think you're getting? Or maybe is there going to be some slight variation there? I've seen some people buying varieties that were labeled as like giant leaf or, you know, big foliage. They get the trees and the foliage is not that big. And it's kind of like, yeah, you would have had to graft from that specimen that had mega huge leaves to make sure that you still retain that leaf size and shape. So before I end this video, I'll just show you. These trees were planted from the same batch of seeds right here. This one, look at the leaf size. See that? This tree right here. I'm gonna have to repot this today. Let me pull this out. Let me pull this somewhere here. This one's getting a little dry. So that tree, let's look at it real close. Look at the leaf size, right? It wasn't advertised as having giant leaves. It has big leaves, right? Nice big leaves. Well, it came from the same batch as this tree. And look at the leaves on that are huge. That's the biggest leaf I've seen on a Plinia right there, buddy. It don't get any bigger. And for you to continue to have that leaf size, you'd probably have to graft it. And even then, I've seen where the leaf size can change even after you grafted it, where it'll get small for some reason. I don't know why. The leaf size change. But that's a good 9-inch in length. I've measured them before. They're 9-inchers. I haven't really got anything bigger than about a 9 or a 10. But if you do, let me know, because that's big for just a regular old Plinia. That's the biggest they gonna get for me, as big as I've seen them. And that's a Fitrantha Branca. I didn't forget the name on that. How could you forget with a leaf that size? Fitrantha Branca. And it wasn't no special variety known for having big leaves. Well, it wasn't sold to me as a large leaf or nothing. It just has large leaves. Okay, everybody. Enjoy your day.